Who is the world's most dangerous airline? What makes an airline more dangerous than another? What makes these planes so unsafe? Is it pilot training, poorly maintained aircraft, or is there something more sinister going on behind the scenes? In this video we will look into what makes these airlines so unreliable and unsafe. Welcome to Hangar 18. One thing we must take into consideration when judging airline safety, and that is destinations. Different airlines operate in different countries and terrain, some of which are high altitude airports deep within the mountains, war-torn countries with volatile confrontations between states and factions. Each airline has a responsibility to safely maintain their aircraft, but do we all have the same idea on what is safe? Sure, the manufacturers will recommend and even publish manuals on how to operate and maintain their aircraft, but at the end of the day, it is up to the individual airlines and their pilots to uphold and ensure these standards are adhered to. Airline scheduling, pilot fatigue, even pressure put on the pilot to perform or work outside his or her comfort zone will contribute to fatal accidents. Let's look at 3 of the most dangerous airlines. Kamar Air. Kamar Air has only been in operation for a decade, but has already experienced fatal accidents resulting in more than 100 passenger deaths, making it one of the most dangerous airlines in the world. Kamar Air is in Afghanistan's leading airline, headquartered in Kabul, Afghanistan. Kamar Air operates scheduled domestic passenger services and regional international services. Founded by Zamari Kamgar, Kamar Air has 13 aircraft with a workforce of over 1,200 people. The airline has its hub in Hamid Karzai International Airport, Kabul, Afghanistan. The first flight of Kamar Air was operated from Kabul to Herat and Mazar-e-Sharif in November 2013 with a Boeing 727-200, while the first international flight was inaugurated in May 2004 between Kabul and Dubai. Since 2004, Kamar Air has kept growing its footprint in the country with daily flights to Herat, Farah, Sarangi, Boat, Kandahar, Trincut, Miyamana, Bamyan, Kunduz and Faizabad, focusing on profitable routes. In the Middle East and South Asia region, Kamar Air serves Dushanbe in Tajikistan, Jeddah and Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, Delhi in India, Ankara and Istanbul in Turkey, Islamabad in Pakistan, Tashkent in Uzbekistan and Kuwait. On February 22, 2021, Kamar Air operated Afghanistan's first ever all-female crew flight. Airline's first female Afghan pilot, 22-year-old Mahadazi Mirazi, joined Captain Veronika Borisova from Ukraine in piloting the Boeing 737-500 from Hamid Karzai International Airport in Kabul to Herat. The flight took 90 minutes. Josh Cahill, who documented the flight, described the moment as historic, given that during the Taliban occupation, women in Afghanistan had no rights. On February 3, 2005, Kamar Air Flight 904, a Boeing 737-200 operated by Phoenix Aviation, flying from Herat International Airport in western Afghanistan, vanished from the radar screens on approach to Kabul. The disappearance sparked a massive search operation for the 96 passengers and crew. The wreckage of the plane was found on the 5th of February 2005 in the mountains east of Kabul. All 104 people aboard were killed. On the 9th of August 2009, a Kamar Air plane bound from the Urumi Duambabi International Airport in China, who was refused permission to land and diverted to Kandahar International Airport in southern Afghanistan after an earlier alleged bomb threat. On the 11th of August 2010, a Douglas DC-8 suffered a tail strike on takeoff from Manston Airport, United Kingdom, destroying an approach light. The aircraft was operating an international cargo flight to Buenos Aires, Argentina, via the Cape Verde Islands. The incident was caused by the aircraft being 25,700 pounds overweight due to excess fuel load and misestimating of cargo mass. After being informed of the mishap, the crew continued to Cape Verde. An inspection there confirmed the tail strike. Though analysis of the strike indicator showed the plane was still safe, the incident was investigated by the Air Accidents Investigation Branch, which made various safety recommendations. Kamar Air was subsequently banned from operating within the European Union. The The 3 crew involved were also dismissed, and Kamar announced that it would withdraw its 2 DC-8s from service. In January 2018, Kamar reported that 9 staff members were killed in a Taliban attack on a hotel in Kabul, 7 Ukrainian employees and 2 Kamar employees from Venezuela. Kamar Air had rented 50 rooms for their foreign staff at the hotel, described as one of Kabul's most heavily guarded. 5 were pilots and 4 were crew members. Afterwards, over 50 of the airline's foreign workers left the country. And by the 26th of January, 5 of its 9 aircraft sat idle due to lack of staffing. A large number of daily flights were also being cancelled for that reason. Lion Air. Lion Airlines, operating as Lion Air, is an Indonesian low-cost airline based in Jakarta. Lion Air is the country's largest privately run airline, the second largest low-cost airline in Southeast Asia, after Air Asia, and the largest airline of Indonesia. With Wings Air and Batik Air, Lion Group is the country's largest airline group. The airline operates domestics as well as international routes, which connects different destinations of Indonesia to Singapore, the Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, Australia, India, Japan and Saudi Arabia, as well as charter routes to mainland China, Hong Kong, South Korea and Macau, with more than 630 flights per day. The airline has repeatedly broken records for largest aircraft orders, such as its $24 billion order for the 234 Airbus A320 jets, as well as its $22.4 billion order for 230 competing aircraft from Boeing. The airline signed an agreement with US-based manufacturer Boeing for 50 737 MAX 10 passenger jets worth $6.24 billion in June 2017. The airline is Boeing's second largest customer after US-based Southwest Airlines. It had once been criticised for poor operational management in areas such as scheduling and safety. Although steps have been taken to improve its safety, on the 16th of June 2016, the European lifted the ban it had in place on Lion Air from flying into European airspace. In June 2018, it attained a positive safety rating following its ICAO audit. On the 14th of January 2002, Lion Air Flight 386, a Boeing 737-200, crashed after trying to take off with an incorrect flap configuration at Sultan Kazim International Airport. Everyone on board survived, but the aircraft was written off. On the 30th November 2004, Lion Air Flight 583, a McDonnell Douglas MD-82, crashed in Surakarta. 25 people died. On the 4th of March 2006, Lion Air Flight 8987, a McDonnell Douglas M82, crashed after landing at Juanda International Airport. Reverse thrust was used during landing, although the left thrust reversers were stated to be out of service. This caused the aircraft to veer to the right and skid off the runway, coming to a rest about 7,000 feet from the approach end of the runway. There were no fatalities, but the aircraft was badly damaged and later written off. On the 24th of December 2006, Lion Air Flight 792, a Boeing 737-400, landed with an incorrect flap configuration and was not aligned with the runway. The aircraft landed hard and skidded along the runway, causing the right main landing gear to detach, the left gear to protrude through the wing and some of the aircraft fuselage to be wrinkled. There were no fatalities, but the aircraft was written off. On the 2nd of November 2010, Lion Air Flight 712, a Boeing 737-400, overran the runway on landing on Sapadio Airport, Pontianak, coming to rest on its belly and sustaining damage to its nose gear. All 174 passengers and crew evacuated by the emergency slides, with few injuries. On 13th of April 2013, Lion Air Flight 904, a Boeing 737-800, travelling from Bandung to Denpasar with 180 people on board, crashed into the water near Nangari International Airport while attempting to land. The aircraft's fuselage broke into 2 parts. While Indonesian officials reported the aircraft crashed short of the runway, reporters and photographers from Associated Press indicated that the aircraft overshot the runway. All passengers and crew were evacuated from the aircraft and there were no fatalities. On the 9th of January 2015, following the fatal crash of Indonesian AirAsia Flight 8501, 53 routes operated by Lion Air and its subsidiaries were revoked by the Transportation Ministry as the airline had not been approved to fly. Among the 61 routes, Lion Air had the largest share. On the 29th of October 2018, Lion Air Flight 610, a Boeing 737 MAX 8, crashed into the Java Sea, 12 minutes after takeoff from Jakarta. killing all 180 people on board. In March 2019, former Indonesian transportation safety investigators and a former Lion Air employee claimed that Lion Air had attempted to bribe transportation safety officials, including crash investigators, in at least one case with the knowledge of now President Director of Lion Air, Edward Surratt. In September 2019, Lion Air confirmed the leak of around 35 million customers' data, which includes passport details, home addresses, and phone numbers. Nepal Airlines. Nepal Airlines Corporation, formerly known as Royal Nepal Airlines. Nepal Airlines is the flag carrier of Nepal, founded in 1958. It is the oldest airline of the country, out of its main base in Tribhuvan International Airport, Kathmandu. The airline operates domestic services within Nepal and medium-haul services in Asia. The airline's first aircraft was a Douglas DC-3, used to serve domestic routes and a handful of destinations in India. The airline acquired its first jet aircraft from Boeing. It was a Boeing 727 in 1972. As of the 13th of July 2020, the airline operates a fleet of 7 aircraft. Since 2013, the airline has also been on the list of air carriers banned in the European Union. On the 5th of November 1960, a Royal Nepal Airlines Douglas C-47 crashed on takeoff at Beharauna Airport and caught fire. All 4 crew members died. There were no passengers on board. On the 9th of March 1961, a Royal Nepal Airlines Pilatus PC-6 Porter crashed in Jahari. A Royal Nepal Airlines DC-47 en route from Kathmandu Airport to New Delhi Airport, radio contacted, was lost and the aircraft crashed near Talkano, Dahari. The wreckage was found on the 9th of August 1962 on a mountain top at 11,200 feet. All 4 crew and 6 passengers died. On the 26th of August 1962, a Royal Nepal Airlines Pilatus PC-6 Porter crashed in Barsdari on a rescue mission from the 1962 Royal Nepal Airlines DC-3 crash. On the 12th of July 1969, a Royal Nepal Airlines Douglas DC-3 collided with a tree while flying over a cloud-covered ridge at 7,300 feet. All 4 crew and 31 passengers died. On the 25th of January 1970, a Royal Nepal Airlines Fokker F-27-200 after a flight from Kathmandu was caught in severe thunderstorms with turbulence and downdrafts. On final approach to Delhi Palms Airport, the pilot couldn't control the aircraft and crashed short of the runway. Of the 5 crew and 18 passengers, only 1 crew member died. On the 22nd of December 1984, a Royal Nepal Airlines de Havilland, Canada DHC-6 Twin Otter en route from Talmangarh Airport to Kathmandu Airport crashed off course near Bahajur. Bad weather and pilot error could have been the cause. All 3 crew members were killed, as well as 12 of the 20 passengers. On the 16th of February 2014, Nepal Airlines Flight 183 and Nepal Airlines de Havilland, Canada DHC-6 Twin Otter went missing en route to Jumla, carrying 18 people on board. It was later confirmed that the plane had crashed in Aragachi. After reviewing these instances and cases, personally I have awarded Nepal Airlines the world's most dangerous airline. But please don't be quick to judge. I am not awarding this to them on the fact that they are irresponsible or lazy with safety or maintenance, and I am certainly not claiming that their pilots are undertrained or overworked. The conditions that this airline operates and the huge pressure that these pilots have to deal with on a daily basis is actually a credit to their skills and training, and I applaud everyone involved in the airline. Of course, flying in such hostile conditions is risky, and inevitably there will be accidents, but this to me is a great airline which deserves a lot of credit considering. Despite several high-profile crashes over the last 2 years, flying remains the safest form of travel. Plane crashes have fallen year on year over the last 3 decades, and the future of aviation safety relies on comprehensive, effective training and new up-to-date fleets of planes. There's no shortcut, no magic piece of technology or equipment, as Boeing and Airbus continue to bring new models to the market like the 787 and the A380. Safety will improve. But can aviation safety levels improve so much that their crashes will soon be a thing of the past? The 2 biggest threats to the future of aviation safety are unsafe freight cargo, putting lithium batteries in the hold, and human error. Accidents have been down to human error for a long time. Almost every accident will contain human feeling, its vulnerability. These issues can be addressed by increasing training opportunities for staff, something that most airlines around the world are putting a lot of money into. While training can help human error, it's limited. People often forget certain procedures. Training can reduce the likelihood of somebody making errors, but it's some of the best people in aviation who make the mistakes. Nobody will expect a brand new pilot to be so good that they wouldn't need supervision. The worst mistakes are often caused by those with a lot of experience because their expertise isn't challenged. An end to airline crashes may well be a real possibility, but not until every fleet across the committed to modernisation and fastidious training. For flying to remain the safest form of transportation, aviation safety must constantly work out how to stay one step ahead. Thank you all for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you would like to see more videos on the channel, check out these two videos. And until the next one, take care and stay safe.